Hello and welcome to Conrad Seidel's Beer of the Week. This week's beer is an India Pale Ale. Most people who drink craft beers, they know a lot about India Pale Ales because IPA, it's more or less the signature beer for the craft beer revolution we've seen in England, in America and in England as well. But this is a British IPA from a traditional brewery, quite traditional brewery in London. The Griffin Brewery is on the way between Heathrow Airport and downtown London, and it's a nice bottle-conditioned beer. It's an IPA that's more in the British tradition than in the American tradition, and we'll see it from the color, but even more from the taste of that beer. If you pour it, it has this amber color, a nice head, and you pick up some sort of maybe raisiny hoppiness, but it's not overwhelmingly hoppy like American IPAs. I mean, the Brits were the ones who invented the style, so they wanted to have a beer that could be exported to India, but they could also drink it back home in London. London is the place where the beer was invented. Burton, of course, became famous with the exports of their ale to India, and well, the Brits didn't drink too much of it because they had other strong ales. But during World War I, the original gravity of most of the British beers was lowered a lot and never came back to the old level. So when we have imperial IPAs in the United States, these are maybe those that you had around 1900, but contemporary British IPA would be more like this Fuller's IPA. And it has this balanced aroma. It has this nice full-bodiedness without any hint of sweetness, and a bitterness that's just pleasant. It's not as strong as you have in mind when you think of an American IPA or even European continental IPAs. Very subtle bitterness, but it's there. It gives the beer a dry aftertaste, and that's exactly what you want. And so this is a beer that's typical for Britain. It goes very well with British food. Think of roast beef. I mean, if you think of American IPAs where you want to have maybe spicy food, well, here it's more subtle. So you have maybe a roast beef would be the best pairing with it. And I really admire the Brits for having their traditional beer styles, and they even bottle condition it, which means the beer is re-fermented in the bottle, which also adds to the aroma that's very complex, has this slightly hoppy, herbal, maybe even piney note, and then gives you all the way that you have with the malts in that. Very balanced beer, very nice and drinkable, and I recommend you find a British style IPA till we meet next week for another Conrad Seidel's Beer of the Week. Cheers.